She's nobody's favorite X-Men, and with 3 other figures in the collection, would anyone bother to pick her up if she wasn't in the X-Men 97 wave? Find out in this week's review of Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Wave 2, Jean Grey. The most famous redhead in Marvel, right behind Mary Jane Watson.
Will you marry me?
Jean Grey is a powerful mutant. Not only does she have the Marvel equivalent of the Force, Jean is also a telepath.
Your ass is mine. Yes, you heard me. I think words I would never say.
Articulation, bruh. Between the ponytail and the long hair, I think a double ball joint was the way to go here. It just doesn't function well, with her looking down almost nothing, up a little bit, there is some left to right, and what you talking about, I got a clone amount of head tilt. The ponytail does rotate all the way around, and it is prone to falling out, but I'd rather have it than not. Plus popping it back in is easy enough. The torso is one giant piece, but there is a ball joint behind that belt, allowing her to crunch forward a tiny amount, all the way back. There's some tilt, left to right, and rotation, which does look a little funky once you move past a certain point. Arms rotate all the way around with that free-floating shoulder pad. There's a bicep swivel, a pinless double jointed elbow, arms ball and hinge straight out, hands do rotate and hinge up and down. Now you'll notice on the back piece the peg is blue and it continues through onto the hand, so that's not great. The legs kick most of the way up, kick out a good amount. There's an upper thigh swivel, a pinless double jointed knee. There's no boot swivel, feet do hinge down, hinge up a little bit, and rocks like X-Men wordplay. I love Eugene.
Who the hell is Eugene?
Accessories! Does this purse go with my bra, brah?
Jean comes with a set of relaxed hands, a right-fisted hand, and a splayed-out telekinesis hand. Most of the wave has a neutral and an angry head sculpt. Jean gets a neutral expression with a different hairstyle.
Really, fool? Really?
And while an angry expression doesn't really go with Jean's demeanor, I do remember a specific facial expression from the animated series.
Some kind of device.
Go sit yourself.
Whether she's using Cerebro or waiting to make her shocking return to the X-Men, Jean Grey can go sit herself. First up, from the Wolverine and Jacket Cyclops 3-pack, here's Jean Grey. You may be surprised to find out that Jean likes her coffee like she likes her cosmic entities. Here's Dark Phoenix. And in her first appearance, Marvel Girl attire, here is the trash that is Jean Grey. And next up, a man that can't even look her in the eye, her so-called husband, Cyclops. And a sister from a different Mr. Sinister. Here's Goblin Queen, Madeline Pryor. I don't think he can fit into Jean's jeans, but I think he wants Jean's jeans. Here's Mr. Sinister. Not being able to have physical contact would frustrate anybody, so she's gone rogue. Here's Rogue. I'm not crying, you're crying. Here's Wolverine. And ripping up the Queen of Hearts because his queen broke his heart. It's Gambit.
Think unsexy thoughts. Think unsexy thoughts.
I think we can all agree that Jean Grey in her Marvel attire is one of the worst Marvel Legends figures in recent memory. However, Hasbro learned from its mistakes and improved the ball joint at the waist. Jean now has better articulation without having to constantly readjust that free-floating belt.
Whoops-a-daisy.
The double jointed elbows make a hell of a difference when posing. The previous release Jeans looked like they were miming when using their powers. This time around, you can actually make it look like she's using her telepathy.
Stand back, Mother! We're having a telekinetic battle of men!
That blue peg on the hand has to be the worst part of the figure. It ruins any photos where the palms are showing. The ponytail constantly falling out is frustrating, I know, but it's tolerable to have the added articulation for action shots. Speaking of articulation, The lack of upper torso can be excused because Jean isn't exactly an acrobat. Not to mention the diaphragm joint would break up the sculpt in the costume anyway. So while the articulation is lacking in some places, I'm honestly surprised at how much I like this figure. Not just because of the character's specific engineering, but because of how Jean looks with Cyclops and the rest of the team.